Hi, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Recently, I received an email from a friend, Miss O'Connor. Hi there. You didn't leave mention that I could use your first name, so just to protect your privacy, we'll go with that. Now, this email from our friend here at the channel had a very interesting link in it, and I'm going to leave the link below because I'd love to know what you guys think about this. This is yet another article from experts that claim narcs are simply not human. There is something about them that is absolutely alien, demonic, just simply not human. Now, when an entity lacks the very basic human qualities, an ability to love, to be honest. I mean, they're absolute habitual liars. When you cannot even be honest, well, certainly that's lacking in human qualities. When your sole intention in life is to trap someone, victimize them, terrorize them, and turn their life to shit, well, there is something not so human about you. I think we'd all agree with that. Now, the article had a fleeting statement in it. Now, this is a fleeting statement that I see over and over again in articles that depict these things as creatures other than human. The statement is always the same. It's always fleeting, almost like just a brief mention of it. It says that these creatures, whether they're demonically possessed, alien, AI, clones, whatever the fuck they are, it always says that they're targeting humans. And then it goes on in a fleeting statement, and there's so few real humans left. Now, this fleeting statement in these articles, and I'll tell you, I've seen it lots, and it really, really catches my attention. Now, if these evil creatures, whatever the hell they are, I believe it's demonic possession, because that's what manifested in my reality. That's what I believe I saw. Now, however that manifested to you, it is what it is, but it's becoming a bit alarming to me when I keep reading these fleeting statements like these evil things are targeting pure humans. And by that, I mean pure human beings. And there's not many of us left. I guess the whole idea there is that the pure human bloodline has been contaminated with the fallen ones, aliens, reptilians. I mean, the list goes on and on. But nonetheless, I do believe there's some believable stuff there. And if we are in dwindling numbers, why is this always a fleeting statement? Like, this seems like a really, really big issue to me. And it also implies to me that, holy cow, we really need to stick together. Something else I found really, really interesting about this article, and again, there's a link under the video, is this list of symptoms that victims suffer. I'm going to read the list to you because I'm going to tell you I suffered from pretty much all of them. Now, this is a list of symptoms to identify that you have been exposed to something beyond human. And the list of symptoms to me is kind of all telling that if these symptoms are real, and I most certainly had pretty much all of them, so I'd love to hear if you had some of them, all of them, or just a few, because someone with a mental illness just simply can't inflict a victim with these types of symptoms. Once again, just blowing a hole in the concept that these things are mentally ill. Now, one symptom listed there as evidence that you have been exposed to evil was uncontrollable rage. Now, I'm going to tell you, I do not have a history of anger. I have just not been an angry person. And the idea of wanting to hurt someone really is not something I've had to deal with over my lifetime. I have never wanted to hurt anyone. But when I first got free from Trevor, at night particularly, when I'd be trying to sleep, I had this continuous looping thought of splattering him with my truck. I don't mean hurting him a little. I mean pow, face first with the truck. And that was extremely out of character for me, and I found that very disturbing. This symptom was very, very interesting, is unusual twitching in your eye. Now, honestly, I had forgotten about that until I read it. Prior to me leaving Trevor, I had been to the optometrist 3 times because I had this continuous twitching in my eye. In fact, I was still working at that time and kept saying to a coworker, "Hey, Gav, do you see anything in my eye?" Like, it was really bothersome. And until I read that, I'd forgotten about that, but I had that symptom. Feeling dopey or groggy or feeling extremely fatigued. I most certainly had that. Another one, of course, is mental confusion, inability to focus or concentrate. When I first got free from Trevor, I tried to do some research reading. I couldn't read. I just kept reading the same thing over and over again. I absolutely had lost the ability to read. My mental focus was gone. Numbness in your face and extremities. I'm going to tell you, wow, did I have this. In fact, I had become absolutely convinced I was having a heart attack. Chest pain, tightening of the chest, numbness of the extremities, all of these are symptoms and evidence, according to this article, that you have been exposed to something not human. Now, I was eating so many low-dose ASA pills because I absolutely believed I was having a heart attack, that I had to go for a very, very minor medical procedure. And it was a very tiny incision. And I'm going to tell you, that thing bled and bled and bled. And the doctor said to me, "Are you on blood thinners?" And I said, "Well, those low-dose ASAs." He says, "How many are you eating?" I said, "Well, every time I get chest pain." "How frequently is that?" "Like 20 times a day." I was actually thinning my blood. I had eaten so many of them. Chronic depression, an overwhelming feeling of sadness. I most certainly had it, and I know many of you had. Another one that I find kind of interesting was violent sneezing. Oh my goodness, another one I had forgotten about. I kept saying to Trevor, right at the final stages of me leaving, "I think I'm allergic to you." Well, the article claims I was allergic to him. Why? Because he was an evil alien presence, and I most certainly was showing symptoms of an allergic reaction to the rotten thing. Now, this violent sneezing thing sparked another memory in me. Right before that odious hag, Michelle Ann Titler, showed up here at the channel and launched that criminal assault against me, I had been speaking to her on the Facebook Messenger. Now, I got off the Messenger. The conversation was making me sick. I got off the Messenger. I went downstairs and I just couldn't stop sneezing. And my son says to me, "Ma, what's going on?" I said, "I think I'm allergic to that evil thing." And sure enough, I think I was. Migraines, I too had them, and many of you have told me you had them. Now, another symptom is experiencing electronic interference, problems with your computer and your cell phone. You guys remember way back when, for those of you who've been around for a long time, how many times my computer ended up with a virus. There was no amount of antivirus that I could put in the computer to stop from getting viruses. A tinny sound in your phone can also be a sign of non-human interference. A foul taste in your mouth, and I've mentioned many times I'd lost a tremendous amount of weight during the time I was with Trevor. I would be able to get some of the weight back on again, but then off it would come. I simply couldn't eat. Everything tasted horrible to me. This one's kind of interesting. They call it thought seeding. The claim is the narcissist plants seeds in your family and friends to abandon you. Now, quite often, a victim finds herself very much abandoned by family and friends and left completely alone with the narcissist. I'm going to speculate there could be some truth to this thought seeding. Now, this article refers to them as evil reptilians, and as I've mentioned many times, this odious Michelle Titler refers to herself as a self-proclaimed reptilian. Is there any truth to this? Well, who knows? You guys be the judge. So what are my thoughts on aliens? Well, I've got mixed thoughts on aliens. I do believe that David Icke believes every word he says, and I don't think he's trying to deceive anyone, but I believe that the alien agenda is a bit of a smokescreen to steer people away from what they really are. I believe they're demons. Now, please take a look at the article and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and let me know if you have any of these symptoms. I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. I hope you're having a great narc-free day.